Hey everybody, it's Jennifer. I have a virtual background up, so I just realized my hand disappears when I do that. But we are back this week with another top producer interview. We're so lucky to have another one of our 20 under 40 winners from Gary Greene, Jenny Elmi. She is out of the Woodlands office. Congratulations, Jenny, on your award.
Thank you.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. And the ceremony was pretty, and the after party was fun.
Yes,
So
all
we
of
were
it.
at too. Yeah, all of it.
All
So
of it on fire, all of it. Yeah.
there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on. It was a big celebration. For those of you who don't know, the 20 under 40 awards, they're put out every year by the Houston Association of Realtors. It's very competitive. You know, they really pick people who are top producers, but not only that, they're involved in the industry, they're involved in their communities, and you were selected this year as a winner. So that means you're doing some things right, which is why we want to talk to you. And I chatted with you a little bit there. Tell me how long you've been in the business again, because it wasn't that long.
Yeah. So I got my license in 2017. But I've been selling homes since 2005, but I started in new construction sales.
Gotcha. And then you came over. Did you join? Was it your husband's team, or did you guys start the team when you came over? How did that work?
Yeah, so Chris was with Heritage at the time, and of course joined him. I had to think about it, but
Yeah.
joined him in 2017 at Heritage at the time, and then we just kind of ran it a few years by ourselves, and then of course got Gary Greenized, and then started organically kind of adding some teammates as it was the right person, right time, all that.
Gotcha. So you came on, so you've never not been on a team.
Right.
Right. You've always had to work with your spouse, which is probably has its own set of challenges, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So when you came from new construction over into resales, what was the hardest thing for you? What did you find when you came over?
I think I grossly underestimated how different the two industries are.
Yeah.
Chris has been licensed since 2012. So I, vicariously kind of watched him grow his business, and I sort of felt like I had a handle on it, but you really just don't know until you jump in.
Yeah.
So also kind of like my first week, like really getting the business going, was like ready to push the gas down, and then Harvey hit. So it's kind of like unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
But that's what's obviously so, challenging, but also kind of rewarding about this industry is there's so many outside factors and so many things over the adversity that we have to overcome. And so, yeah, I got a taste of that right out of the gate.
Well, and you're right. And I mean, just we have no control over what the market does. There's so many things going on, and we have to learn how to adapt and just figure out how to get business no matter what the climate is, whether it's like a disaster, natural disaster like that, or maybe a market crash or something like that. So yeah, you just got to adapt and push through, huh?
Yep. That's all you can do.
Yep. So when you first got in, where did you start to find success? What was kind of your niche? Were you doing open houses? Was it working your sphere? Where did your business come from?
I think for sure the sphere. I was pretty fortunate early on to take the ninja training.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody.
I've never taken it, but I know a lot of people that have.
Yeah, it was promised to change my life, and I was kind of like, okay, calm down. Always a little skeptical of like salesy type stuff that maybe gets thrown in front of us, but it really did help me intentionally grow my business from my sphere. So that's what I really focused on. And then just sort of a comprehensive approach, got pretty consistent with the social media, did thank you notes, did parties, events, one-on-one lunches, just anything I could do to kind of, put my name in as many hats as possible, basically.
Yeah. I was at a conference recently, and one of the speakers, she said, there's no just in real estate. She's like, if you talk to a top producer, they're going to be like, oh, I just did this, or I just did that. It's exactly what you just said. It was all of it. There's people that you knew, and then you did one-on-ones, and you did thank you notes. Like, it's not just one thing. It takes doing all of it consistently, right?
Yeah, 100%. There's no silver bullet approach. And I think one of the best things I took with me from my years of new home sales is just a work ethic. I mean, I pretty much, from starting at age 22, worked every weekend. it's basically like a retail front.
Yeah, new home sales is no joke. You're in your model home all the time.
Yeah. And of course, still work weekends now, but I can obviously control it a little bit more. So I think just not giving up on the work and knowing that if you take care of the work, it will take care of you. You just have to give it the time. So.
Yeah, that's great advice. So you mentioned social media earlier, and I wanted to talk to you about this. We've been social media friends for what, like a week now? So we're best friends. Like we know everything about each other now. Yeah. But I love how you are on social media, because you are not afraid to use humor. And I kind of feel the same way about mine. I feel like it actually makes you way more relatable to people. And when I was newer in the business, I was terrified, because I just thought, people won't take me seriously. What if I offend somebody? I was so paranoid about it. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to be myself. And my business actually really started to grow when I started to do that. Have you found the same thing?
For sure. And yes, I think your stuff is super funny. And I had the same hesitancy, because I, obviously with client interface, like to be, super professional. Yeah. But I think on a platform like an Instagram or whatever, you have a little latitude to have a little fun. And getting back to that, like ninja concept of, basically what you throw out there is what you get back. So I am funny. I like to have fun with it, and I like to use humor when I can. It's a great diffuser sometimes in our business. So, but yeah, I think whatever it is that you do, it just has to be in your lane,
if you're not funny, don't try to be funny.
Well, it's like, I think like whatever ignites you, whatever keeps you energized, you can go that direction, whether it's music or fashion or like however you can integrate, because personal branding is huge. But I think what you said as far as being a little bit vulnerable out there and allowing people to see you, even if it's goofy. I think that's endearing. And I think that people can definitely relate to you more when you do that.
I do too. And I think honestly, people are attracted to people who are fun, can make this fun. Most people like that. And if there are people who don't like to have fun, then I probably don't want to work with you anyway. So it's maybe a good thing that, that repelled you.
Like, I think, I get DMs all the time with people who are like, oh, that was so funny. And like, you feel like kind of a little bit more connected to that person because y'all are on the same wavelength as far as sense of humor or whatever. So, but I think the biggest thing, like most things, is consistency. So when I got licensed, I pretty much immediately started getting into social media, and it's evolved, and I'm doing all kinds of reels and stuff I never thought I would be doing, but I'm rolling with it and just trying to do it consistently. And I think it's proven to work so far. So
you're right too. And I love what you said about personal branding, because I really feel if you just look at like consumerism in general, we follow, I get a lot of my clothes now because I follow influencers on Instagram who post the clothes, so I think we're kind of as a society shifting away from traditional marketing.
Right.
And I think the personal stuff is great. So yeah, if you're into cooking, if you're into running, there you go. Speaking of personal branding, right over your head. So I think that's great advice. So I love to pick, when I talk to top producers, I like to say, what do you see new agents doing wrong? Because new agents come to your office and you see them doing things sometimes and you're just like, oh, you wish you could just like shake them and get them on the right path. What do you think most new agents struggle with?
That's a good question. Well, yeah, I think in the beginning, it's so overwhelming and there's almost too many tools at your fingertips. So, I think it would be trying to do too much and trying to please everyone. And like we run like a 7-person team, and all of us are wired so differently. Like some members of my team like can't stand the pressure of social media and don't like it. And so I say, you know what? Don't waste your energy or your effort on it. Some of my teammates are natural connectors and they just kill it at open houses. And some of my teammates, that's a little bit more of a challenge. So I feel like if you can, it's, I guess, a little talking out of both sides of my mouth, because we did say you kind of have to do everything.
Yeah.
And that's true. But I think if you can stay closer to the things that are a little bit more natural to you, and focus more energy on doing those 3 or 4 things to the best of your ability, rather than trying to do all the things, all the newsletters, the parties, the events, the social media, the direct mailers. When you try
and
to
you probably didn't do everything right out of the gate. You know, you probably did a few things. Then once you got those really down, then you probably added something, and then you add something else. You know, you grow over time.
Yeah, I mean, like my husband, Chris, he's super involved in networking, and he's on a bunch of boards and all that. And that, for me, like, that sounds exhausting. And like just the commitment of all the meetings, that's not for me. But so that's what's cool is in our industry, we do have the opportunity to pursue and to chase avenues that speak to us. So I think, you know, going with an authentic route is going to help a new agent better, faster.
I think you're right. I just think it's so funny. Even in my own office, there are top producers. I mean, their personalities could not be more different. And I see all different types of people succeed in this business. I think it's what you said. It's just about finding what's true to you and then being consistent with it and doing the work, you know, really putting in the work and knowing that it's going to take a while to see results. Cause I think agents give up too soon is what I see.
Sure. And I mean, it's a harsh reality that not everyone in this industry is going to succeed. But that kind of sounds depressing, but to flip that back around with like a positive note, yes, not everyone will succeed, but everyone can. And that's, I find it so inspiring that there's oil and gas folks, there's people with, you know, come from the medical, you know, healthcare industry,
teachers, anybody.
We took on, Natalie on our team was actually our kiddo's former principal. So she came from the education world and she's already killing it. So yeah, it's so cool that anybody can do it. You just have to find the right lane. And then the consistency and the discipline is just huge, because I think I agree with you that a lot of people, you know, push the eject button too soon before they've seen it pay off. So
great advice. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today, and congratulations again on your 20 under 40 award. And hopefully some of the new agents that are watching this got some good tips from today. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.